So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Green morning, green afternoon, green evening, wherever you are world over. Some of us must be facing because there are different time zones world over. Somebody must have just got up early in the morning and you're going for your morning walk and morning jog and enjoying yourself. Somebody must have enjoyed morning breakfast. Somebody must have had their lunch and somebody must have gone for their evening tea. And some of us might be going for our dinner time also. So different time zones, right from Canada, United States, Latin America, Europe, Central Asia, particularly Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, and of course, when I'm coming to South Asia, Afghanistan and Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, we extend you a very warm invitation. Let me go to the Middle East. When I go over there, ladies and gentlemen, people join us from Doha, Qatar. They join us from Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Dubai, Oman, all the places, Kuwait, wherever you are from, we extend you a very warm welcome. And then let me go beyond little from India, that is the ASEAN. We are 650 million population in the 10 countries, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, and then of course Vietnam, very important for all of us because today's guest, distinguished guest this evening, Madam Priya Bhargava, she is from Vietnam joining us live from Ho Chi Minh City. We extend her a very warm welcome. Before I bring my distinguished guest on the main dais, on the main forum, I wish to share a couple of slides because some of us join new each day. So I want to share a couple of slides. Why this webinar? What are we doing through this series and what all is going on? Our president is also live at this point of time from Thailand. We extend you a very hearty welcome. My immediate past president is joining us from Los Angeles, Burbank. We extend you a very warm welcome. And before him, the president from Singapore, you are joining us. We extend you a very warm welcome. And the future president from Malaysia, Dato Ramesh Kodamalji, we extend you also a very warm welcome. And besides that, ladies and gentlemen, let me come back to India now, where it's 5 minutes past 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time on Sunday evening, that is on 16th of August, because yesterday we had a wonderful India's Independence Day, 74th India's Independence Day. सो भारत से सभी को प्रणाम, सभी को नमस्कार, सभी का शुभ स्वागत। जहां भी विश्व में आप हैं, हमारे सभी एडवाइजर्स, हमारे सभी रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स, हमारे सभी प्रेसिडेंट्स, जिस कंट्री से हमारे साथ यहाँ जुड़ रहे हैं, द नॉन रेजिडेंट इंडियंस, we extend you a very hearty welcome, very warm welcome, and a pleasure to have you with us this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, now from here, let me just take you further and we take you to the beautiful journey. Our chamber, ICSI, International Chamber for Service Industry, since 1994, we are getting the confluence of the non-resident Indians world over. And in 2003, there was a Bharatiya Parvasi Divas. And thereafter, now we have got vibrant Gujarat, vibrant Karnataka, vibrant Telangana, vibrant Tamil Nadu, vibrant Rajasthan, whatever you can name, vibrant Madhya Pradesh, vibrant Andhra, whatever you want to call it, everything is vibrant, vibrant, and vibrant. So all these 30 million non-resident Indians, those who have gone abroad, either they have created jobs or they are doing wonders as the top-notch people in the different countries world over. Our chamber deals with the services sector, and we are into the services exports, where basically the research, innovative strategies, and we prepare the white paper, the green papers, the action plan, the roadmap, and everything for various ministries for Government of India from time to time, need-based. During lockdown, the thought processes are affected, business is affected, physical and mental health is affected, and main part of the universe is education is deeply affected. As per UNESCO, 1.6 billion people are at home at this point of time. But we from India, we believe in Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. When you say Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, that is one world, one love, one family, all of us. Your pain is our pain. Our pleasure is your pleasure. And that is the way the Indians believe in. We started this journey during this coronavirus on 5th of June. That's a World Environment Day. And the whole focus is making education relevant. What is the purpose of education? Why somebody should go to school or college or university or polytechnic or ITI, or why somebody should go for skills. So आइए शिक्षा को प्रासंगिक बनाएं. It's a global confluence of educators, motivators, counselors, psychologists, technocrats, and strategists. Those are empowering the entire education ecosystem. Now, 5th of June, we started this journey because all the research which we got it from various sources from world over, they gave us the next misunderstanding and the next crisis at the global level is going to be that of water. Water strategy, water crisis, water conservation, all that to be taken into consideration. Jal hi jeevan hai. And now, because children, they are with their parents at respective homes, so we would request all parents, kindly teach your kids how to save every drop of the water. Once the school, colleges, universities, institutions will open, then it will be institutes' moral responsibility to save every drop of water. Nowhere there should be a leakage of water. Some of the people have to walk miles and miles basically to bring water, to fetch water, and to get the water for you. At the same time, once the offices will get opened up, once the public places will be utilized, your malls, your theaters, your toilets, and a couple of other public utilities, you got to save every drop of water everywhere. There is something very important what we request. Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m., we have got a webinar, but on Saturday morning at 9:30, we talk about basically where we take into considerations, and we have got the complete pedagogy and andragogy, what is to be done with regard to Lord Buddha's teaching. What did Lord Buddha say? And what is the relevance of Lord Buddha's teaching in today's education system? So I'm thankful to Venerable Dhammapiya ji, who is Secretary General of International Buddhist Confederation, and he's getting all the 500 million plus Buddhists from the world over on this particular platform together. Saturday evening, we are thankful to Ministry of Ayush. We are thankful to various stakeholders in India that Ayurveda for the global wellness. And yesterday we had 15 warriors of the wellness on 15th August of India, 7 to 9 p.m., where we deliberated, discussed, and celebrated, and jubilated, and congratulated each other. Basically, where Ayurveda for the global wellness, yoga, meditation, naturopathy, nutrition, organic food, all that was discussed, and how to take care of your health. And it is not only your physical wellness, it's your mental wellness also, which you have to take into consideration. Comes every Sunday morning. The new education policy also, which has come in India, and which talks about India's ancient heritage, what India was, what was Nalanda University, Takshila, what all India had been doing, what are Vedas, our Upanishad, they give it to us. So every Sunday morning, 9:30, you get Professor Satendra Dhiman live from Woodbury University, Burbank, from California, United States, who talks to us what exactly is the purpose of education and how Indian Vedas, India's epics. We just finished with Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and now we have started basically with Upanishad from this morning. That was 101 webinar. Every Sunday evening after this series, the program what we are having on India and ASEAN, you'll be having the next program at 7 p.m. and that is going to be on micro, small and medium enterprise. Every Sunday join us. The CMD of the NSIC, there is Rabindranath ji, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, Government of India, immediate former CMD of NSIC, he joins us. Now our entire team of the ICSI, which is world over, from 25th of March to 15th of August till yesterday, The research which has been carried out world over, the golden triangle will not be anymore Delhi, Agra, Jaipur. The golden triangle would be your basic food, your basic health and wellness, and the education system is going to change completely. It would not be the four walls, the brick walls. It's going to be flip learning. It's going to be blended learning. It's going to be outside the classroom learning, and the new education policy which has come, where the children are going to learn coding right from the sixth standard. So your vocationals, your skills, your competencies, your everything whatsoever is practical is going to matter in future. And what was known earlier B2B as a business to business now will be termed as back to basics. That's going to be the norm, because today everybody is talking in air. Nobody knows when the corona will get over, when the first vaccine will come, and lots of predictions and lots of new senses are coming from world over. They say be ready for the second wave also. So nobody knows what exactly is going to happen. So we got to be prepared for future sustainable development. Before I introduce you today's warrior, today's celebrity, today's distinguished guest, this is the last slide. 1908. 1908. Remember, imagine now it is 2020. Napoleon Hill book. It's worth reading. Alan Toffler came thereafter, the book Future Shocks. Various parts have come. But over here, when you go through the Napoleon Hill book, one of the sentences I picked up from there, from that book was, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, very important and to be underlined, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe can achieve. Let's come together, making education relevant, global confluence of educators, motivators, technocrats, counselors, and corporate from the world over. Should you wish to be a part of this particular series as a panelist, or you want to send any suggestion, you're more than welcome to send at innovation@icsi.asia, or at the same time, you can also send a small WhatsApp to us. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a proud privilege this evening in our program, India ASEAN series, where 650 million population, where all the 10 countries are growing faster, and Vietnam is going fastest. Their economy is doing very well. During Corona, they have done very well. They have done with the human resource handling very well. So let me take a proud privilege to extend a very warm welcome to Madam Priya Bhargava, General Director, Shelby Global Company Limited, Vietnam, and Shelby Management Solutions, Banglore in India. Those are watching from world over. Earlier it was known as Bangalore. Now it is known as Banglore. Madam is an engineer by profession. She is a self-motivated person and who intends to set up a role model in managing diversified operations. She is a successful entrepreneur today who is heading Shelby Management Solutions. The role as a Journal Director, she has made her responsibility, and she is responsible for leading all HR aspects of human resource strategy, policy and operations, including talent management and acquisition, total rewards, compensation and benefits, management, leadership and employee development, employee relation, performance management, organizational development, effectiveness, and succession planning. Ladies and gentlemen, with these words, on behalf of International Chamber for Service Industry and all my stakeholders world over, we extend a very hearty welcome to Madam Priya Bhargava this evening, all the way from Vietnam. Hearty welcome to you. Pleasure to have you with us, and a very, very warm welcome and a warm evening. People, I do not know why you people feel shy to come on a webinar directly. Your name will be reflected. People will know you that you are learning. Are we learned till last day. I'm 70 years old, but I want to learn from this lady this evening. I want to be a student this evening. Why to feel shy? Why to feel this way? We keep learning throughout our life, and that should be the motto and that should be the strategy. The day you stop learning, you stop living. That is the way the philosophy has to be. Well, it's your wish. If you want to come on Facebook, Dr. Gulshan Sharma's page, open your watch party wherever you are, whosoever you are, send your question, share with your friends, bring more and more people in this fold, and we will be taking our entire mission and a strategy to the Honorable Prime Minister of India the day we will touch 1 million people from world over as a global fraternity for this particular program. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to Madam Priya Bhargava, and I would request you share whatever you feel like, ma'am. It's a India-ASEAN
Sure.
relationship. You can talk whole ASEAN, you can talk Vietnam, you can talk present situation in Vietnam, you can talk future of Vietnam, you can talk how Vietnam can be linked with India, how could be HR strategies, business strategies, innovation, research. I'm going to say anything you can share. It's an open platform, and the entire globe from here is entirely yours. And I mute myself with a very hearty welcome to you and a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much. Namaskar to everyone. I think that was a wonderful, long, detailed introduction by Dr. Gulshan Sharma. Um, yes, I'm very happy to share a little bit of knowledge that I have between India and ASEAN. Fortunately, I've had the opportunity to work for both these regions. Um, I've been HR professional for the last 9 years, and much before that, where HR was actually called the personal department, we were doing the same work. Perhaps many companies had not yet termed their personal department as human resources. This was the time when we got to work on a lot of processes like hiring graduates, hiring mid-level managers, or even looking at um, what was not right in this hiring, or what was great in terms of hiring. That put me to a passion of getting into HR. And when I started my firm, Shelby Management Solutions, we said we look at recruitments, we look at trainings and consulting, and we said we shield futures. We'd love to shield futures, and we've been doing that over some years. Coming to the topic today, when Dr. Gulshan Sharma just told me that you need to speak something about what you know on the ASEAN. I kind of have a very small and brief thing that I could share. So I chose a topic, preparing for the future from an HR perspective for the ASEAN countries. We've often seen, which goes unnoticed in the broader narrative about the ASEAN growth story. People talk about a lot of growth in ASEAN. The GDP is much higher than the global average, and the past few decades has seen ASEAN countries really grow multifold. And currently, we are also in a situation where the country that I live in, Vietnam, is really looking at huge FDIs coming over. So the very first time that any company comes in, they would obviously look at how many skilled resources they're able to employ, and for a company, successful growth of a company, it's about how well are they able to optimize their resources. Um, so economic growth in ASEAN is largely driven by the domestic demand, definitely at an unprecedented pace. So there has also been an increasing demand for skilled workers, especially on the IT or non-IT, as we have seen. So we have also seen that the human resource challenges are cropping up. We see that the businesses need to operate successfully in the region, and they have to address the challenge of how do they um, deploy these resources. So there are two aspects to it. Once they deploy, how are they going to sustain? So when we look at a couple of the statistics that I was just looking at, it said, um, according to what I have seen, hiring is usually about the longevity. Hiring the right resource means you're hiring for longevity. So I'm sure companies would definitely agree that yes, we always want our employees to stay longer. So I looked at some statistics, and it said 66% of the talent in Asia look at competitive and fair salaries as their highest priority when they're looking at jobs. Um, so, fortunately or unfortunately, this comes before work-life balance and career advancement. That is something that I see as a total shift when I have been working for India, for companies who are hiring in India. Um, One of the things that I also find as a major shift is when we look at workforce at a large, 24% of the talent in the world want to relocate into matured markets like Singapore, Europe, America, China, and not ASEAN, at least not in their first list of priority. We also looked at 22% of the average salary increase that each of them expect when they are looking at job change. So, with this kind of statistics, what do we conclude? Right. So we have 71% which looking at fair competitive salaries, and then we are looking at about how much is it? 24% looking at into mature markets, and about 22% on the salary increase, 22% of salary increase when they shift jobs. So ideally speaking, so we're talking about talent deficit and talent surplus markets. And for a talent deficit market, where we refer to certain countries in the ASEAN region, um, what what can be done to do the right hire and look at longevity? That could be the upskilling of talent. Um, we at Shelby have very closely noticed when we place candidates, we always wish that the candidates of whom we place live in the organizations for a long time. They have a great career growth. At the same time, when I look at organizations and how are they willing to sustain the candidate who has been a wonderful hire, a wonderful contributor for the organization, we look at the options that they can create for career opportunities. And there comes the upskilling, and um, we've dealt with companies where they look at filling the skill gap. And I was also observing that one of the web series we looked at skill gap, and yes, skill gap, creating individual development plans for organizations, job rotations. Couple of these are very common consulting methods that we look at, and we also suggest when we look at ASEAN. In fact, we are in a situation where there's a pandemic, and even when I was looking at, we have a lot of webinars which talk about overcoming the COVID crisis, adjusting to the new normal. So, what are we going to do in the new normal? That's something that always puts me into thought. And the one of the greatest suggestions that I would have to companies which are working around how do we make the COVID time more productive is probably to look at the role remodeling in organizations, the upskilling and the process, um, working on the re-engineering of the processes. And that actually brings me to say that the company should start actually working towards appreciative inquiry. I think this is a large time when the companies known how they have fared, how have they reacted to the pandemic, are they ready for the crisis, are they looking at downsizing the workforce, are they ready to let go of the workforce who have really been good performers or have been a boon for the organization. So um, we strongly suggest the appreciative inquiry, which is an approach where an organization focuses on strength rather than weakness and follows the various steps that are there in the appreciative inquiry model, uh, and rework on the process. They revisit their processes, they do enough remodeling of their roles, and they thereafter get on to talent management, which is probably one of the large topics that I would like to quote. Specifically on the ASEAN, we clearly know that it is often easy to quote that yes, niche skills are not very easy to be hired, but the question is how long are we going to say that? So does it mean that when we're looking at countries like Philippines or Vietnam or Thailand, should we always look at hiring people from um, the nearby countries where we call them expatriates and get them on board, or um, do we do something better within the country where we get the workforce ready? On the long run, I think the answer is definitely to say hire local employees for better prospects. Easy to get, easier to hire, easier to manage the salary, work out the salaries. Adaptation to the culture is much more easier. Language being one of the big points that we need to make note of in the ASEAN region is something that we should have in mind and work. So yeah, before I would actually get into, I would say, Dr. Gulshan, just do give me an indicator when we are ready to stop, because
So, ma'am, in case if you want to share any slides, if you want to share any kind of a PPT, anything you would like to share, that would be really nice. Because some questions have come to me in the Facebook, which
all
I'll
right.
take subsequently. I'll take subsequently.
Okay. Currently, no. I'm really sorry because I have not really prepared a slide as such,
No
and I
worries.
think the reason.
I,
Um,
if you
so,
if you allow, I can ask the questions directly, which people are pouring in.
yes, so I will kind of conclude what I spoke. I think I kind of just gave a small brief
How,
about.
how ma'am,
Uh,
Vietnam is handling coronavirus? Okay, let's take that. How
okay,
Vietnam is handling corona? Okay,
very well.
okay, okay.
So we
Well,
were 100 days, 100th day, we were stuck with a little bit of corona back again in the end of July, but I think they did a wonderful job. I have never stopped going to office, even that when there was a peak of Corona world over. That was when Vietnam was COVID free, and with I mean I must say kudos to the people. They are so disciplined um, uh, to follow on to rules, and they perhaps that's one of the biggest reasons why we overcame Corona very quickly.
Okay. There are two questions, ma'am. Straight away we can take. There's a lady from Manipur. She has asked, what kind of a jobs are coming up in Vietnam? Because we from the northeast part of India are just next to ASEAN.
Currently, if I see the bulk of what is being hired is for IT. I see a lot of IT talent being hired. Again, to put up, I'm not too sure about till when would it be difficult for an expatriate to enter into Vietnam, probably because of the work permits and the pandemic situation at the moment. I think movement of international is yeah, international movements are getting difficult. But there are a lot of jobs related to IT. Currently, I think that's also one of the challenges. There is surplus jobs and deficit of talent.
Okay. Uh, Another question, again from a lady, again from a northeast, from Arunachal Pradesh. Do we require soft skill trainers in Vietnam?
Yes, if you know Vietnamese.
Okay, okay. So the
Yes,
local language, if you know, then the soft skills can be
yes,
meaningful.
yes. Because I think soft skills again. So one of the things that as I mentioned on the management of talent, is about building your own pool, right? So I think that's exactly where Vietnam is currently. They've already started looking at how do we build our own pool. And so when we look at who are the people in the pipeline of the pool, are probably the freshers who are finishing up their college, and there are several of them who would love to look at interns, work as interns, look at internship opportunities, and get an experience of roughly one plus years, and then they have enough opportunities to get into different organizations and different sectors. So if we actually look at it, Vietnam has a lot of entrepreneurs, I must say. I have actually seen women managing various kinds of businesses. You go out, there are umpteen number of coffee shops, and pottery shops, and arty crafts, and various kinds of things where it is whole and soul managed by women. And I think that puts us into a wonderful question about having good trainings as vocational training centers, which can actually work well, or even the contract to hire model. So I have always wondered why companies haven't really started working by and large on the contract to hire model, where we customize talent to a particular sector and hire them. So I think if you look at the soft skills part, I think that's one of the major role here. If we have to customize and build the talent which is ready to work for a particular sector, whether it's banking or insurance or FMCG, retail. So yeah, that would be my answer.
Now, somebody else has asked, ma'am, you made a mention, if we correctly understood, that 24% approximately of the youth, they want to move out of the ASEAN and they want to go for better places, better pastures, where there are better performances, better perks. That's with regard to jobs. Okay, that's with regard to jobs. Now, the children, those are going for higher studies abroad at this point of time, whatever has happened in pandemic in America, whatever has happened in Italy, Spain, France, UK, do you think there will be some change in the trend and there would be a more partnership between, or rather within Asia itself, instead of going to those long haul destinations where if you're stuck, because there are a lot of students, those have paid the money, They had just paid their fee, they had gone over there, or some of them, they have paid the money, they took the admission, but they could not reach the destination also. And now the fee is not refundable to them. At the same time, there are many kids, those gathered the money, they reached over there, they took up the admission, they finished one semester, and when the second semester started, this particular pandemic had poured in. So they were doing part-time job with which they were surviving. Now that part-time job has gone. So there is a lot of difficulty. Number three, in America, there is a law which is being passed that either you have to come to the campus or you got to go back to your country wherever you have come from. So under these circumstances, do you see psychologically or psychographically the countries within Asia, instead of going to long haul destination, would consider to take up education or higher education within Asia? Let's take an example. Singapore has got a lot of good institutions. It has got technical, it has got vocational, it has got polytechnic, it has got university, it has got skill programs. At the same time, there is a new education policy being announced in India also now. So when there is so much of change, and fortunately you are a privileged child or a lady or a girl or a woman who comes from a city, Banglore, which is a hub of technology, which is a hub of IT. So when we look towards that, do you think there will be an increase inflow within Asia than to be moving to long haul destination, because nobody knows how long the corona will go on, nobody knows how long the pandemic will be there, and nobody knows whether the second wave or the second phase will come or not. So what is your call on that, ma'am?
Yeah. So while that was really a long question, I have written down a few of them, which I would answer.
Yes.
So the first thing is the psychological part of it. Um, I have seen that people who have, gone abroad to study have had a definite goal when they have gone out. Their passion, is intact. I have had a chance to speak with a couple of students and also a couple of professionals who were abroad working in the matured market and who come back to be with the family because they wanted to be with the family in the pandemic. But that hasn't essentially told them that they will not go back, to pursue their either the studies or work. Definitely for professionals, they have quit job and they've come here. They are looking at jobs, right? So as a consultant myself, I've had applications with said, I have been working in France, and I've come back, and then I'm looking at a job. While companies are a little skeptical about hiring at the moment, because it's not about hiring these individuals, it's about hiring during COVID, which has been a little bit of a mindset. They are not sure whether the hiring is absolutely necessary at this point in time. So there are two phases of it. Looks as if they are interconnected, but they are not, right? So there are these professionals and students who have the passion to study outside. They are okay to do an online and then wait for the next 1 year and then go back to their respective destinations to complete it. They also say that they want to work in matured markets and then return back and contribute to their own places. I have uh, that is something that comes to me as a very good surprise and a good balance as well. They think that the mature markets also allows them to kind of make a definite goal of what they want to be in their lives, and also because there are good opportunities for them in when they move into perhaps the higher junior level or the mid level. They find a lot of opportunities. And for professionals, I have found that they are fine to have worked in ASEAN at the moment, but I think for them it's about what the organization has to offer. If the organization has a definite career path, I'm sure these professionals can engage with them for a longer time. Um, so when I actually meant about the stats that I spoke about, yes, by and large, people, professional students or professionals who work out to do their MBA degrees or even their undergraduate program, always do feel that they like to work in mature markets, and later on take up the challenge of coming over to the lesser mature markets. Um, because of high growth opportunities, the opportunity to show their creativity and innovation of what they have actually learned. So the last question of what you asked me was, do I see a shift, right? I do see a shift. Yes, we don't know when the corona is going to end, but I see a good shift, because there's all possibility that we have good professionals coming back home, if they are from the Asian countries, for good. And we hope that companies will be able to hire them and make good use of them. But at the same time, with the changing education policies, if India, especially in particular, if we are able to offer the best of the educations, then I'm sure the students would not go out to pursue their higher studies.
Okay. And ma'am, one more very important thing. There is a final conclusion